Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Michael here from the Vegan Mo's. Welcome to the Big Gay Brunch. So today, before we get to our special guests and everything, let's talk about what we are going to be eating. We have the darn good Caesar salad from our guest, Dustin Harder, the Vegan Roadie's book, the Simply Vegan Cookbook. It is absolutely amazing. And we paired it with the minestrone soup from NYC Vegan. And Dustin also surprised us by making his own soft batch chocolate chip cookies, also from the Simply Vegan Cookbook, which we cannot wait to dive into and get our conversation started. So, everyone, Dustin Harder, the Vegan Roadie, welcome to our house yet again.
Thank you. Yes, I'm happy to be here. And I'm hungry. We'll start eating.
This is our little monitor, so I can just see what's going on.
Oh! And if there are any questions? There's like a little delay too. So.
There is a little delay, it's a little freaky.
No, that's alright. Now I'm just gonna watch us the whole time.
We need a delay. If there's a missile launch system associated with it, so we need to make sure that everything is like nice and delayed, just in case.
Everything looks lovely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming here, and congratulations. Can we just like show this book for a second?
Please, yes.
This book is like, it's hefty.
It's
got weight to it. It has substance to it. There's information in it. It's beautiful. We love this book.
And it's 150 recipes, but every recipe has 2 variations, so it's 450 recipes.
So theoretically, if one was doing like the Veganuary thing, decided to be vegan, and this is the year they're going vegan, they could literally do a different recipe or different variation of a recipe in this book for over a year.
Over a year. Yeah. They can totally latch onto this. And
you have no excuses.
No excuses.
It's simple. It's vegan.
Simple and easy.
Let's dig in.
So we've got a couple of greetings. So hello JL, hello Kat, and hello Laura.
Hi.
Oh,
guys. Wow, all our friends are watching. This is so much fun.
Laura, hi. We all miss you. It was great seeing you last week.
Come back.
And JL, we miss you. It was great seeing you 2 weeks ago.
And Kat, we haven't seen you in a while. So
get on over here. We should actually go see Kat now because it's that time of year to get down to the south because it's just too cold.
Where's Kat at?
She's in Dallas. She just said she loves you.
Ah.
And it's probably warmer. Actually, it might be colder in Dallas today because of what's this front thing that's going through. But I don't know, Kat. You'll let us know. It's 19 degrees this morning. It's 19 degrees here. It's kind of crazy. So
it was very brisk on my way over here this morning. I probably got from the train here about 3 times faster than I normally do. I was on a hustle.
So guys, let's dig in. I think I'm gonna do my soup first because it's warm.
Totally.
So we usually start our show off with how was your week, but it's been like 3 weeks since we were here, right?
Yes, it's been quite some time.
And so, what have we been up to?
Let's see, we were in Palm Springs for New Year's.
I think we should probably offer everybody a little bit of an explanation about that when we did that thing on Sunday 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we were gonna do an episode, the last one of the year. We're gonna do it on New Year's Eve from Palm Springs. We had done not an Airbnb, but a VRBO. Highly recommend it. Much better experience than Airbnb was for us.
Can I ask you, sorry to interrupt, what made it better than Airbnb?
There's a greater variety of apartments and things available, and it seems like they are a little bit less onerous on the people who are renting, and so more people are willing to rent you their property because either they don't have as big a cut taken out of it or whatnot. It was a really positive experience. And it was a beautiful house, and it was a great place, and we had friends with us, and one of our friends is watching right now, JL Fields, was there with her husband. Another friend of ours, Liz D, was there with her husband, Nick. And we were gonna have these 2 straight ally, wonderful vegan lady boss change makers on with us, and we were gonna just sort of be talking about the year. And we were exhausted. We were on vacation, and we were all just like in this chill mode. And I thought, the last thing we want to do is wake up to go live at 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time to do this, and it was just too much. And we just sort of thought, one of the resolutions that we've had this year is to try to make Vegan Mo's and our activism fit back into our life a little bit, because last year with the cookbook and everything, things got a little bit out of our control, which is to be expected. I'm sure you know nothing about that right now. Sitting here in our apartment on a Sunday morning having soup. But wait, the ride gets so much better. So we just decided to sort of take control of that, right?
Yes.
And so that's what we did. But Palm Springs was great. And for a lot of people who aren't familiar, Palm Springs is about 2 hours plus or minus, depending on traffic and how you drive. Just due east of Los Angeles, and it's out in the Coachella Valley, and it's beautiful, and it's my happy place. We go there as much as we can. It is a total gay mecca, but it is rapidly becoming a very vegan-friendly town, and this is something that
has it not always been that way?
It has not, but 8 years ago when I had just gone vegan and you were not, and we were going out there were like two options, and that's it. There was the original Native Foods, which is in Palm Springs in the Smoke Trade Common. It's still there. And this place called Palm Greens Cafe, where they have a full vegan menu associated with a lot of non-vegan food. Well, it seems like their menu has become extraordinarily vegan heavy, and there are almost few non-vegan options left on it.
Say everything can be made vegan and gluten-free.
Right. They've also expanded themselves into like this very big middle of town area where there's like a big coffee shop where everyone hangs out at. It's this big hangout place. They bought a place next to it, and it's called Mid-Mod Cafe, and it's the exact same menu. So now you've got vegan in the middle of town, and Chef Tanya Petrovna, who's the originator and founder of Native Foods, she did a Kickstarter a couple years ago, opened up Chef Tanya's kitchen, and now, like, my favorite Reuben, which was the one that she had created for Native Foods, like, that was my favorite Reuben. Sorry, Chicago Diner. But my favorite Reuben is now the one that she makes.
That's great.
And she makes it. I mean, she's the originator of this. Her seitan's incredible. She's doing all these BioLife cheeses. She's doing dinners on Wednesday nights. Check her out. It's Chef Tanya's Kitchen. And
we also found out from Marilyn Ramos, who runs the vegan meetup group there, that a bunch of restaurants now have reached out to their meetup group to say, hey, we want to start adding vegan options. Will you come and do like a dinner here one night if we do it? That kind of thing.
There was a Middle Eastern food restaurant that had done like this charred eggplant dish, and like they were starting to like specifically reach out to vegans there.
We have a couple questions. Some guy named David, I don't know how to pronounce this, Rossetti.
Who's that?
We'll get to that. Hi, David.
Hey, boo.
He wanted to know, who's the handsome guy on the left?
Wait, left. Oh, it's me.
Your fiance. And we'll get to that soon.
But yes, the other thing that we wanted to mention though about it is that Palm Springs has a no-kill animal shelter, and they are the only no-kill animal shelter in Riverside County, which is a massive county in Southern California. And they have a huge stray and abandoned dog issue. So imagine our surprise when we're going through the Palm Springs destination store, i.e. tourism created a store in the downtown area, and we find this little thing sitting there called Appetizing Vegan Party Nibbles and Treats, and it's from the Friends of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. And Chef Tanya has recipes in here. They have everything, and they show you all these really cute little animals. It's so cute. And they dedicate it to all the volunteers, and they talk about the animal shelter, but they've got like pastas and dips and soups, nuts, little nibbles and appetizers, starters, sides. It's a really cute little pamphlet, and this just, I don't know, I loved it, and I love that all the proceeds of this $10 purchase go straight to helping these animals be rescued at a no-kill shelter. And I don't think you can buy it online. I think you can only visit when you get it there.
So can we get that online and support them?
But this is a great thing for you all to be doing. This is an easy form of activism. Get like 10, 15 friends together, ask everyone to contribute 3 recipes, put together something like this. You can do it at a Kinko's. This is not an expensive operation. And then you can start funding your own local shelter or your own local rescue groups. I think this is such a really...
What do they call books like that? Like, was it like the Church Lady Cookbook kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's like just quick recipe collection. Here are our favorites. Put them together. There you go.
I think that's
great.
Special.
Yeah, that's great. Lots of ways to be involved.
So, what else?
Okay.
I want to go back to, before you
Yes.
guys, I just want to say congratulations for listening to yourself in Palm Springs and taking care of yourself, doing self-care. I mean, people can wait, and you can like take a breath. And I just think it's important for people to realize like the stuff that we're doing in this world, it takes a lot of time and effort. And sometimes when you're on vacation, we need to get this and this. And you also need to be on vacation and like take a break. You guys work really hard. So I'm just like happy that you guys listen to yourself and we're like, hold up, we're gonna be back.
Oh, thank you. So
you.
And I'm telling you right now, listen to your own advice, because from now for like the next 8 months.
Oh yeah. It's been the last 4 years. I'm really good at saying these things, but
it's going to be a roller coaster, because in addition to keeping up with the Vegan Roadie, now you've got the cookbook.
So let's talk about the cookbook for a second.
Yeah.
So why'd you want to write a cookbook? I'm going to start asking you every question we've been given.
Well, actually, it's great that you're asking me this, because I have to thank you guys. I don't know if I've ever said this to you, and I'm happy to say it here. We had lunch probably 2 years ago. Where was
Vegan
that place?
tacos.
Vegan tacos.
Black Flamingo.
And it was like one of those situations we went and they were closed, but there was like a little
There was
stand-up
a
and we
party going on.
Yes.
People were
That we
coming
don't
in
know-
with
we
costumes.
still don't know
some
what
sort
was
of
going on.
theatrical event. Yes. A party, a theatrical event. And I had lunch with you guys and we were catching up. I think I had been on the road maybe filming season 2, and we were talking about your book and all the work you were doing, and then I was talking about the idea I had to do a compilation cookbook of all the places I'd been on the road, chefs there, getting recipes together, and you guys just looked at me and you were like, why would you do that? And I was like, well, just because I think that's the next like logical step. And you guys were like, no, you're a chef, like you need to have your own cookbook. And in that moment, I was like, well, they're right. And I thought about that so much, I chewed on that. And I thought about it so much, and I just wanted to thank you, because that was really a turning moment for me of going like, no, like I want to write my own book, and I gained a bit of confidence from that lunch. And I just wanted to thank you guys like because like without you, it simply wouldn't be.
Well,
And now it simply is.
It simply is.
And you are a chef in your own right.
Yeah.
And you've done like way more like training and whatnot in the world of culinary arts and whatnot than we have, that's for sure. And
I'm so tired.
I guess one of the things I've always I like to ask other people who cook, what inspires you to cook?
It has remained the same. I went vegan almost 10 years ago, and before that I liked cooking. I think it was the same for you guys. Like I liked cooking, but getting into the kitchen and reinventing comfort foods that I loved became fun, and it became rewarding, and it became, just something exciting to do. That then sort of like fueled my desire to start learning more about cooking, and now it's turned into vegans create some crazy stuff. Apparently we can't swear on this. So I was gonna create some crazy. Vegans create some crazy stuff. So that has inspired me even more. You guys travel, like when you see what chefs are doing around the country and the stuff they're putting on the table. It's not about it being vegan food. It's that one common factor everybody can agree on: delicious food. Right. So that's what I wanted to do. But I also wanted to take the intimidation factor. That my biggest thing was creating delicious food, but also taking the intimidation factor out so people get excited about cooking in the kitchen and not scared of it. Like that was why I wanted to do a book like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what was your process like for doing the book? Did you have like, here's the idea for the book, now let me get the recipes? Did you have the recipes? How do we put it together?
I had a few different proposals out that my agent was pushing around, and then this company came to me with this idea. Of course, my idea, as you guys know, when you're trying to get somebody to get on board with your book, you're trying to think outside of the box and what hasn't been done. So I had like 3 crazy proposals out, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, but no. And then this,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. And you're like, what are you talking about? That's the best idea ever.
And they never want that one.
And they never want that one. And this company came to me and they were like, we've got this idea. We just want it to be simple recipes. And I was like, well, that seems, what do you mean? Like, there's nothing out of the box about that. And they're like, no, but like, we have these parameters we want to follow, and we've done all this research. And I was like, well, then great. So that's kind of like, and in terms of the process, I had some of the recipes, but then I wanted to like make them as simple as possible. So a lot of the recipe, I revisited every single recipe in the book. I bought a $25 blender from Dwayne Reed, and like made everything on that so that I wanted to show people you don't have to get a $300 blender. You know, you don't have to buy a bunch of special ingredients to make it happen.
Yep.
But I do introduce a couple special ingredients in a few recipes, but it doesn't take over the book. So the process was definitely, there were some recipes, but I wanted to make them as simple as possible. So I started from scratch, essentially.
What would be like a special ingredient that maybe people don't necessarily?
That one all of us vegans love, nutritional yeast. That sounds, you know, scary. You're like, yeast, what?
Which is why they just need to start calling it nooch.
Yeah, just something else.
Dear nutritional yeast people, please rebrand yourself as nooch. We all know what it is.
It's yeast. People think it's an infection. Just putting it out there.
Exactly. And shockingly, the other thing about this is like something like nutritional yeast. What's becoming awesome to see, but also confusing and frustrating, is that like I've been to so many grocery stores around the country. And I used that when writing this book, and I was like, well, have I seen miso paste? Miso paste and nutritional yeast, I see them in some grocery stores and not others.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean like standard grocery stores,
so
not Whole Foods.
Really good story about this. This past summer, we were in Palm Springs as well. I told you we like to go there more than once. And we had stopped in an Albertsons or Ralph's. No, it was Ralph's. We were with our friend Walt. Hi, Walt, if you're watching. And we were shopping around and looking for different things, and the one thing that we couldn't find was miso paste. So I'm like looking where the miso would be, and like I'm sort of like, well, maybe it's by the tofu and the tempeh and all this, because they had this in a Ralph's in Palm Springs, and I was just like, and they had so delicious like non-dairy yogurts and stuff like that. So I mean,
the vegan options were amazing, so
they were abounding.
They'll have.
I was like,
why would they have miso?
So maybe they don't. So like I go to this guy, and God love him. I mean, he was the sweetest kid, and he like, it was so clear he was out of his depth when I was trying to explain this to him. And he's like, well, we have miso, yeah, come here. I was like, oh, thank God. So I follow him, and as soon as I see him taking me down the soup aisle, I'm like, this is not going to be good. And sure enough, it's a miso, it's an instant miso soup. And I'm like, yeah, so this is a little bit different. And I pulled it up on my phone, and I showed him. He goes, oh, well, maybe that'll be over in like the cheeses. I'm like, it's definitely not over in the cheeses. We're gonna just have to improvise without miso and find a different source of umami in our recipe, and it's not a big deal. But it was very
interesting.
Miso seems to be a blind spot for
well,
some
so I
parts
tried
of the country.
to elaborate on that story even, because I was in Gainesville, Georgia. David, my fiance, who we've discussed a little bit, was doing a show there, and there's a lovely family there he stays with by the name of the Rooks. Hello, Molly and Keith Rooks. Hello. And I was like, I'm gonna make them macaroni and cheese. It's gonna be so delicious. They're not vegan. I was like, they're gonna love it. I could not find miso to save my life. I found a miso powder pack, and I was like, okay, let's see. This is terrible.
Oh, no.
So it was like a huge fail. And like the macaroni and cheese, and they were kind of like, it's good. And I was like, oh, in that moment as a vegan, when you're trying to feed people who are not vegan, you're like, it's
awful.
Huge fail.
It's like, yeah.
You know,
it's bad enough to fail on a vegan, but when you fail with an omnivore, it's like, oh, see, all vegan food's horrible. No.
But I did make them this salad, and they loved that. So I had 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2.
Okay, since you brought up the fiance, your fiance, David Rossetti, let me just see if I can get all of these. Singer, actor, dancer, choreographer, interior designer, furniture refinisher. Have I left anything?
Clearly underachiever.
And generally just a really sweet, nice guy.
Harder, David.
Actually, so where is he right now?
He's in Salt Lake City, actually. And he also, along with all those things, is the production manager of the Vegan Roadie. Officially, like in the last 2 years, has taken like whenever we're filming, he has taken on so many logistics, because I mean, nobody sees the behind-the-scenes stuff, but like my head is about to explode when I'm producing it, and then writing recipes for the 5-ingredient challenge, and then I have to be on camera, and I'm scheduling everything to like line up and be at these restaurants. And he's taken on so much in terms of like every crowdfunding campaign. During season 2, I came home one day, unannounced to me, he had 3 people around the table, and he had set up like Vegan Roadie headquarters. They all had their laptops. And they were all emailing list of people. I mean, and in a moment like that, when you're kind of going 24/7, I mean, I just tears.
Of course.
But he really takes charge of stuff, and was really awesome to step up in that area along with everything else, because he is a singer, dancer, actor extraordinaire. He's in Salt Lake City on Something Rotten the Musical. He's going to be playing with that through May, so it's going around the country.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a perfect show for him. I've yet to see him in it. I can't wait to see it. And he's understudying the role of Nigel Bottom. I think that's the character I've only
We'll
seen
just
it
leave
once.
that hanging.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, big gay brunch. Who's gonna go there?
Family show.
So yeah, he's off traveling and doing his thing, and I miss him a lot.
Oh, when's he back?
I'll get to see him in a week actually. I haven't seen him in about 6 or 7 weeks, so I'll get to see him in a week for a day.
Wow. Will he be home today, or are you flying somewhere to see him?
He's in one city, then coming home for a day. I think he's in Fort Worth actually, then coming home for a day, and then going to DC. So it was that he was kind of close, not really close.
Oh my God! I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you.
Is this not the best?
I'm not saying this because you're here. This is a really awesome Caesar salad. This is wow. This might be my new favorite dressing.
Oh my gosh, you said that too, you guys.
This may become our new house dressing.
Well, and I was telling Michael earlier that this dressing, this is one of the, when I graduated from culinary school, I then went on to go on the road with the show, because I used to do the musical theater myself, and all I had with me was a NutriBullet. So here I was fresh out of culinary school, and I could not recipe test anything except for things in a NutriBullet. And the Caesar salad became my obsession. And so like this is the product of not being able to recipe test anything else essentially. So
this is loaded with umami.
Yes.
Of course I love this.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
I do want to say though, and I think there might be a note in here in the book, so like the miso situation, in here, if you can't find the miso paste, and I tried to do this throughout the book for things like this, you can sub it out in this specific recipe with a little bit of Dijon mustard. I don't think you could do that everywhere with miso, but in this it's definitely acceptable.
Yeah, I mean it's so good. I mean this is, wow, I'm loving this. Absolutely loving this. Thank you. Are you kidding me?
I'm going to use the Gardein chicken strips from the
Delicious.
chicken teriyaki for...
So I can enjoy it.
Exactly.
Because I never liked the taste of chickens, even when I was an omnivore.
But
I like vegan chicken. But I like Gardein chicken, I like the Boca chicken, I like Meiwa chicken, although I try to limit the amount of Meiwa that I eat. When it comes to like Beyond Meat, their stuff is so similar. It tastes too much like chicken for me to like enjoy it. So
how are you with the Beyond Burger?
I love the taste of the Beyond Burger. Like love it. It does not love me. There's something about the pea protein that I have a very, very delayed reaction to it, and it's unpleasant. But I am so glad that it's out there. And even like when we had, when we did burgers out in Palm Springs, we found the Beyond Burger at an Albertsons, which is like your regular. It was just hanging out there in the frozen meat section. We went and we decided to do a barbecue one day, and I'm eating my Beyond Burger, and I'm sitting there like, this is so good. It is worth anything that might happen to me tomorrow. I really don't care.
It's worth it.
I literally don't care.
So, quick question, JL. The miso situation is just simply that a lot of grocery stores, for whatever reason, don't carry miso. So that's the situation.
Did JL ask that?
Yes.
Girl, I just want to tell you I've been making stuff from your air fryer book the last 2 days. I'm going to have very happy clients this week. Thanks to you.
He got an air fryer.
I did. I didn't know it was the size of a spaceship, but I got an air fryer.
You have to do the soy curl fries. They're amazing.
I can't wait. The book is so good, and it's the perfect introduction for me with the air fryer, so thank you, JL.
So, since we brought up the Vegan Roadie, when I first met you, you weren't with me. It was at a seed. I was with Danielle Legg. Hi, Danielle. And you were literally, you didn't have a booth. You were just standing out, handing out postcards because you were just trying to get it started. And that was like...
I just basically crashed a seed event, basically, and was like, I don't have a booth.
Yep. I thought it was awesome, and I was like, okay, this is really cool. This guy is going to be traveling around the country, just like finding vegan food. How did this whole thing start?
So the reason I even went to culinary school was because I just wanted a break from theater. I had just done a Broadway gig, and it was like, oh my gosh, my dreams came true. And then I was kind of a little jaded from the experience, to be completely honest. I needed a break from theater. And I was like, well, I'm falling in love with cooking, so why don't I do this, take it a step further? Not knowing why I was going to National Gourmet Institute. And the first day of class, this CEO at the time actually was like, a lot of you don't know why you're here, and hopefully you figure it out halfway through, but you might not. And it was true. We all had the common idea to like make things better for people, make food that is better for people, that is healthier. But anyway, halfway through I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do, because I knew I was going on the road after, I'm gonna do the only like, their plant-based version of diners, drive-ins, and dives. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's kind of like in that moment, like it was culinary school that where I was sitting there going, what am I doing with this? Why am I even here? Then it's sort of like, I was like, how can I put entertainment, what, you know, my number one passion, entertainment, how do I mesh this with what I'm doing right now? And Vegan Roadie was born. And it just kind of like, from there just went, you know, when something's right, and just keeps snowballing. And I just kind of kept at it. Sweat and tears and frustration and, you know, rewards and happiness and success. I mean, it's just the highs and lows of it, but I just kept trucking with it because it feels right. This feels right. Like it needs to be out there. And that's sort of like how it came about, you know?
And you just finished filming season 3.
Yeah.
In the middle, after season 1, you actually did a quick little OMG that's vegan.
Yep.
Which we did an episode here.
A little sister series.
Just a little mini one-off kind of thing.
And what game did we play?
Tops and bottoms.
We sure did. We sure did. And we're just gonna leave that up to you to figure out.
You
what
figure
that
it out.
is. Yeah.
It's like cards. It's like Cards Against Humanity, but it's not.
I was gonna say, I'd love for you to just Google tops and bottoms right now.
Yeah, seriously.
Just don't do it at the office.
Oh, and don't click on the JCPenney link. That's not what we're going for.
Oh. I don't know what that is. Now I have to Google
Tops
tops
and bottoms.
Oh, got you. Okay.
That's not what we're going for.
Afternoons. So you just finished season 3 though, which this one you left the country for.
I did.
And you went to Italy. What was that like?
It was amazing and crazy and wonderful and fast and kind of eye-opening to see how this country, you know, these regions we went to, I mean, were, the one common factor was that they all relied on really whole plant-based foods as like the base of their meals, and almost all of them were like, oh, we get everything from a garden 2 miles away. Oh, there's a garden out back. Oh, and I do see a lot of that in the United States, but not, it was like every restaurant after restaurant in Italy that we went to, it was like, oh yeah, we grow these herbs right out here.
Like farm to table.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I actually don't recall ever hearing those words there. Like it was just kind of a thing
that's
for
just
them.
how they do it.
That's their way of life.
Yeah, and we all got done, and me and the crew, we were like, none of us gained weight, and we were eating constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we were going, but we were also eating constantly, and we were just kind of like, well, that's kind of crazy, you know, and then we thought about it, we were like, well, everything was as fresh as, like, you can really get it, you know?
Yep, little preservatives.
Yeah, so it was an amazing experience, especially for that, you know?
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm also curious, because, you know, I mean, you kind of have to be living under a rock now in the United States to not recognize that our culture has become somewhat really very polarized, both politically, there are social issues and things like that, and skirting all of those apart, I'm always looking for ways that we can sort of bring people together and things that we can find common ground, because I think that's the only way forward.
Sure.
And it's also the way I think about sort of vegans and non-vegans. Like, we need to find ways to sit down with them and have them sit at our table and enjoy these kinds of foods, because I mean, this is a Caesar salad, period. This is a Caesar salad. I don't care if you're not a vegan, you eat this. This is a Caesar salad, and if you like Caesar salad, you're gonna love this.
Right.
So, were there any like surprises for you along the way to different parts of the country that you went to? Were there places you went to, let's say, where you expected something and you got something different? Maybe you were bracing for sort of like maybe an intolerant area, which was actually really welcoming to you for being vegan.
Is this in the United States?
In the United States, specifically.
Yeah. I mean, it was I guess not what I loved the most was traveling the United States and feeling the feels that you're feeling, and then being embraced by so many restaurant owners that are just trying to do just that, to have people come together through community and delicious food. That it just so happens to be vegan. You know, a lot of places it isn't their focus, and that was the first place we filmed at, was the lunchroom in Ann Arbor, and that was the whole focus was just delicious food. It wasn't, you know, they have they're vegans, of course, you know, and they're trying to create food that people love so that they can get more vegetables in people's plates and less meat, but like they weren't putting that on a banner. They were just like, we have great food, come try it. And they were building a community within that, and they were hiring people that were not vegan, so that the non-vegans were trying vegan food and working around it every day, and then telling their friends and family that it's vegan, And I've ran into so many businesses that are doing that, and so many vegan restaurants too. Like I said, community, like they've all got like events going on, and they're reaching out within the community to bring people in and help them see how great the food is. And then people are left up to like sort of educate themselves a little bit. If they find themselves being like, oh my gosh, this is delicious, this has no meat in it, like that's crazy, then they can take it a step further, and they're there for them to offer resources. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, that is.
So the sense of community was like a huge, it was uplifting to see,
So, a quick side note, our #1 little super fan is watching right now.
I can't see. Shy!
Hey!
Hi, Shy. Okay, so this is who Shy is. Shy is my friend Eliza's daughter. Eliza and I went to podiatry school together, and we are friends. She's one of the friends I've kept from podiatry school. And yeah, we kept custody of each other.
That.
We had a similar upbringing, so we get each other on a very, very deep level. And her daughter, Shy, is like a super fan for the Vegan Mo's.
I love it.
We were in Georgia for the Atlanta Bench Fest, and we didn't get to see you. I'm sorry, Shy, but next time we're down in Atlanta, or next time you're up in New York, we're going to see you for sure, and we'll hang out with your mom, and we'll have a really good time.
And
so
Shy,
thank you for watching.
If you like us, Shy, please do also check out the Vegan Roadie.
He's got really cool
He's
stuff.
got amazing shows too, so you'll love him.
You'll really like it. He's all over YouTube.
Good to meet you, but like not really meet you, Shy, but to say hello.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. We usually do a little bit about
a little
LGBT news, a little bit of AR news. The AR news is Dustin's book is here, Simply Vegan.
It is going to save animals. Buy the book.
Yeah,
buy the book. Save an animal.
We're gonna sort of we've done a lot of vegan heavy conversation. There's some sad news in the LGBT thing that we need to talk about really briefly because there's not much to say about it, but this beautiful person, Vicky Gutierrez, who lived in Los Angeles, a trans woman, was murdered, and then her house burned down with her body in it just this past week. And this is the second murder of a trans person that is recorded in the US so far this year. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and we've killed 2 trans people.
And if you're wondering why you haven't heard about it, because the mainstream news doesn't cover these things.
And admittedly, there's a lot going on in the news, which is of global interest, and that it seems to be ever expanding and going nuts. But it's important that independent news outlets, such as things like Facebook Live shows like this, and things that go out on YouTube, we need to keep talking about this, because we are an LGBTQ movement and community, and the T in there is for trans. And I think sometimes people forget this, but our trans brothers and sisters are living some really, really, really courageous lives in a really, really, really hostile political environment here in the United States. There are trans people living in incredibly dangerous, hostile environments throughout the world, far worse than what we're dealing with here. But we ought to really be standing up for our trans brothers and sisters. There was a vigil 2 nights ago in Los Angeles where there was a vigil for Vicky and her life. She was a person, she mattered, she had people who loved her, and we're really sorry that our community has lost someone beautiful like her. If you want to learn more, you can get involved. There are so many different organizations. We'll put them in the links at the bottom of the show here, both on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So, yay, way to bring down the show there.
Well, I do want to say though, trans people have put themselves forward for the gay community and embraced us.
Right.
It's important for us to embrace trans people. There's this divide that has been created, and if you go back in history, trans people were at the front line for us. So it was a bunch of drag.
It was
not to conflate drag and transvestites and transsexual, and not to conflate the two, but it was the drag queens in Stonewall,
right,
who literally went up and started fighting back and beating back at the cops who were going.
It was
after
all
them.
the sissies.
Yes, and
they were the ones who were just beating the out of the cops and saying,
Mm-hmm.
that's it, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's the thing about this community. We've always sort of tried to stand up for one another.
Right.
Like back in the early days of the AIDS crisis, the lesbian community just really poured out to help the gay men whose families were rejecting them.
That's true.
And helping build them up. So this is the time we need to now help our trans brothers and sisters as much as we can. Just, they're people. They love, they hurt.
And we need to be doing, it's we all need to be doing this for each other. Like, I think there is this potential that's happening now that people might be realizing that, like, you can call it like this unity consciousness, whatever you want to call it. We are one. It's not just the LGBT community. It's not just vegans, or it's not just all of us siding with our mothers and our sisters and our daughters and our grandmothers and the women in our lives, part of the Me Too movement. This is the idea that, like, I wouldn't want any of blank done to me. I certainly don't want it done to you. And so I'll stand up for you and I'll watch you. I don't want my dog eating off my plate, but I'll stand up for him with his right to do it. Charlie has made his way into the show yet again. He's been tapping, and the tapping's been bothering me, and he's been scratching, so I just figured
Thank goodness he made his
keep
way.
him up here.
Oh, he's lightening the mood.
And if you want to check him out on Instagram, the hashtag, because I won't give him an account, the hashtag is hashtag Charlie the Vegan Dog. That's Charlie, L-I-E, the Vegan Dog.
And his brother Riley also has a hashtag Riley, R-A-L-E-Y, the vegan dog.
His face right now is like, I'm aware that I don't have an account, but look at me up here.
It's okay. Hey, we're getting to a fun part of the show, which is our favorite 5, and we ask everybody. This is not a James Beard-like thing, but we do ask the same 5 questions to everybody.
Right.
And we want to know, what is your favorite film?
Tu Wong Fu.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so now
we've been discussing actually having a showing at our wedding. Like, I love this movie. So
that would be fantastic. Just having like playing in the background even.
Well, like we were gonna have like the whole. We don't. It's a little wedding. We're planning.
It's okay.
I mean,
please tell me you're coming out wearing the Stockard tranny dress. That's what you're wearing. Sorry, David.
Wow. Just the veil lift up. It's ideas. Camera off. We've got planning to do.
Okay, but so Tu Wong Fu versus the original Priscilla.
Tu Wong Fu.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yes. I'm a very like light and fluffy, yet get a message in there. And Priscilla sometimes was like just like
a little too heavy.
It's rightfully so. Like, but for me, that's why Tu Wong Fu skips above that. Just because for me, I'm like, oh, it's just all fabulous, and just look at that girl. Oh my god, you know. So.
Oh no, this is fringe.
Yeah. No, that's mine. Please.
Anyway, so
watch before you wreck yourself.
Tu Wong Fu, go watch it.
Yeah.
But what's the second one? Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything.
Wow. This is like, I've seen them all, but like, this is a flashback for me. This is
you guys are going to watch it the next
We are going to watch it. We're
probably
going to Netflix it tonight.
It's such a good movie.
We're going to Netflix it.
Can I do a second one?
Sure.
And this will give you an idea of like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Love that.
So I mean,
That
that's
makes
like,
sense.
you see like my catalog now.
Which
That makes total sense.
Alan Cumming has like this little bitty role in it, because he was not like this big star he is now, writing forwards to cookbooks like NYCBA. But yeah, he's got this
claim to fame.
He's got this like little nothing role, which is actually quite hysterical.
Oh, it's
in
great.
The movie.
Sandy Fink.
Yes.
Sandy Fink.
That's awesome.
Brings this huge notebook.
All right, question number 2. What is your favorite vegan condiment?
Thought of this before I got here and now I forgot. Because there's so many wonderful, wonderful things out there. I'm obsessed with, not obsessed with, but I do love sriracha. Like, you can put a sriracha drizzle on anything and you're like, I just elevated this. This is fine dining now.
It's not just tofu.
Yeah.
It's a meal.
Come on now.
Sriracha is actually like surprisingly turning out to be one of the most popular answers. It's really interesting.
So delicious. And in the book, there's a sriracha aioli.
I like sriracha, but for whatever reason, I find like the heat's more on the tip of the
Number
tongue.
one, so I wanted to be in the show too.
Riley the
Next
vegan
to
dog.
the tongue.
But there's I find I'm a little bit more about the Chipotle. I'm a little bit more about the Chipotle. Number 3.
Okay, but that makes sense.
We've gotten a lot of yeses for the sriracha.
Yes. People are going yes. Rachel McChrystal. Hi Rachel. She was one of the yeses on the show last episode. So thanks for coming down, Rachel.
Have a dog I can
you can have Charlie.
It's okay. I don't want to disrupt.
Oh no, this is not disruptive.
Will he be happy?
He'll be very happy.
He'll be very happy.
Okay.
He might
Do
try
you
to kiss you.
Do you have a lap?
Told you. Don't be afraid to push him down.
No.
It's a little bit much, right,
Living
Charlie?
my dreams right now, but I gotta move my plate, don't I?
We want to know who, and this is like a hard question because like a lot of times there are some that come up and some don't, but like who comes to mind? Your favorite gay or lesbian or bisexual LGBT celebrity who's vegan?
Is this like a crush or just favorite?
It could be whatever you want.
Whatever.
I mean, I do love. They've made strides for a long time, but Neil Patrick Harris and Ellen DeGeneres, I just love them. I think they're really like out there and doing it. And now that time has passed and they've got their shows and everything that they do, and they've got a following that's so mainstream, they're able to just sort of be part of the movement and be active constantly, and I love
Neil
that.
Patrick Harris is vegan?
Oh, vegan.
Okay, wait, guys, I was like, wait, when did
Like,
he go
who just
vegan?
That's right. Sorry, he's not vegan.
Yeah.
So let's just.
But you know what? If you're watching Neil Patrick Harris,
I was just thinking gay.
we know exactly how you can do it.
I was just thinking homosexual. My bad. So gay, vegan. Yes, Ellen DeGeneres then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she Lebanese?
She's a lesbian. Oh my God! You played a little what's it called? Blanche Devereaux from Golden Girls on us. 2 more questions. What is your favorite gay destination city?
It's so funny because David and I do travel often, but it's always for work, and we try to incorporate leisure time, but where we end up going specifically for leisure is like city getaway, like something close, and Asbury Park in New Jersey, we love going there. We love the community so much, and you're gonna fall, man. So Asbury Park, New Jersey is like, we were even looking there for like wedding venues, even we have one that we love.
It's amazing, and they have tons of vegan options there. Like really, a lot of vegan food out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of wedding venues, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
If you need a wedding planner, we know a vegan lesbian wedding planner.
Fantastic.
Emily Modis.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Emily.
We'll do a little connection for you.
Last question. What's your favorite vegan destination city?
From the man who has traveled the world.
From literally, this is what I've been waiting to ask you. The guy who has seen every vegan destination around the world.
I'm disappointed there because it's so close. Philadelphia, I just love it.
It is really becoming a...
It just keeps getting better. Hop on that mega bus, $10 from here, and you can just like eat your way through Philadelphia all day.
Wow.
And speaking of Philadelphia.
That brings us to things that are coming up.
Yes.
So on February 3rd, I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd. Check it out. There's going to be a fundraiser in Philly.
That Saturday is.
That Saturday, and it's called. I'm sure Rachel's going to immediately chime in on this, but it's called Philly Loves Woodstock. It's a fundraiser in Philadelphia, being thrown by one of my co-board members, Janine Cicho Barker, and our friend LJ Steinig, and they are.
Rachel has confirmed it is February 3rd.
I remembered it. Thank you, Rachel. I love this live thing. We just get right back.
We just need a fact checker out there, please.
And there's really good stuff. They have huge prizes. It's going to be at the Ethical Culture Society. It's going to be an evening. Miss Rachel's Pantry is going to be doing all the catering and food
Yes, queen.
And I think we're seeing you the next day.
Where are you guys going?
For the
more Philly fun stuff.
You are emceeing the second vegan chili throwdown, hosted by the food duo Carlo and Carmela.
Hey,
and it's going to be hosted at.
You are emceeing. We are 2 of the judges.
Fantastic!
Yeah, and
that's
maybe.
Great. Do you know who the 3rd is yet?
It's posted. I do not remember who it is.
Oh, fantastic!
And maybe we can convince you if you're coming down. Are you coming down the day before?
I'm doing a day trip.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe we can convince him to come down and be part of like the whole fun at the Woodstock fundraiser.
But you never know. Yeah, let's
talk.
see.
But Yeah, so that's coming up, but before that, we're going to be back here, not next week, but we'll be back. I have a conference, really boring. I'm going to be spending like my whole weekend inside a hotel in Times Square, getting continuing medical education credits. So much fun. But the weekend after, we will be here, and our scheduled guest, we have to confirm with him, is Donnie Moss. Donnie Moss from Their Turn, really, really powerful vegan activist, and he's just back from Liberia, where he was visiting the chimps that the New York City Blood Center has abandoned and shipped off there so that they didn't actually have to give them any care or food and whatnot. And I'm really excited to hear updates from him, as well as his hugely, I think, successful so far movement to push back against bringing a panda to a zoo here in New York City. That's a whole other conversation, and a reason for me not to be voting for our Congresswoman, sorry, Carolyn Maloney, but you're full of baloney. That's it for this episode. We really want to thank you so much for coming out here and braving the freezing cold weather, although I guess for you, it's not. We should really have a cookie to finish this thing off.
These are the soft batch chocolate chip cookies from the Simply Vegan Cookbook.
Doggies don't get chocolate. Doggy doesn't get chocolate.
Goodness.
You remember the soft batch cookies?
These are amazing.
Thank you.
This is insane. His book, available everywhere, is the Simply Vegan Cookbook. Literally, you could cook your way through this for 1.5 years and still not finish all the recipes.
If you pre-order this now, you can get a free copy of Veg News. So it's available everywhere February 6th. If you pre-order it now and send your proof of purchase to veganroadie@gmail.com with your name and mailing address, we will get you a free issue of Veg News.
We hope you guys have a great holiday weekend, Martin Luther King Day. Go out and hug someone from an S-hole country. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Happy brunching.